Here's my 85 740 sedan. I've been the owner for about 2 years. I don't know the exact date, I can find that, but I believe it's February 16 I got it. It's been my semi-daily driver since then. Probably during that time there were periods of time when I drove it every day, including in the winter. And I've done all the work on it myself, and it's been pretty reliable for what it is. After the first few months I kind of shook everything down. It's got new tires on the original 15-inch wheels. It's got LED headlights, just the outers low beam, and then all 4 high beam. This is actually a new old stock grille that was still in the bag when I put it on, and the bezels are very clean. The clear coat is coming off. The paint's not in great shape, but I actually kind of like the patina. Kind of makes it seem a little more authentic. The body is pretty straight overall. There's a couple inconsistencies in the hood. There's this fender, there's this door, but if you're buying this car you really don't care about that. Not a perfect car, but it's got a lot of character. It does have the 90+ style taillights, which I wired in. All the bulbs work in the correct positions. That's just a plasti dip between the taillights to kind of mimic the later turbo style 740s. And this is the badging from an 86, the square font as opposed to the italic that would have come on this car. But overall it's not in terrible shape body wise. This is the side exit exhaust down here, which is straight piped, and I'll start it up in a minute. The odometer says 386 on it, but the true mileage is unknown. It came with 3 clusters. That one was in the best shape. One had 169, one had 189, this one had 386. So it's really hard to say, and in a way it probably doesn't really matter. That is a custom boost gauge using the factory gauge and a Dave Barton face, which gives you numerical boost instead of just red and orange and yellow or whatever it is. And that is an OEM oil temp sensor that's wired into the drain plug. The car will not come with this Momo wheel, but if you buy the car, I highly suggest getting one. It will come with this custom Momo shift knob that I wired the overdrive button into, and it feels nice in your hand. It's a little more heavy, a little firmer than that rubbery stock unit. So let's start it up. Pretty much you wait for that glow plug light to come out, and then you start it. And she always starts pretty good. Sometimes if it hasn't been run for a while, it'll hiccup for a second or two, blow a little bit of blue smoke, but it always starts pretty well. That's a temperature gauge from a S90 that I wired in. I like having exterior temp. So everything works. Running about 20 pounds of boost on that eBay Turbo. I'll show you that. So let's step outside. Pop the hood here. was a little louder than I thought it would be. So under the hood, this is the later style glow plug relay, more reliable. And according to the guys in the forums, it's got better logic, meaning it will turn on, it will or will not turn on, depending on the circumstances, in a way that's better than the stock unit. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but my guess would be maybe if the car is warm, it won't run, when in the stock system it would. I'm not sure, but my original was no good. That was the best replacement to have. AGM 1000 cold cranking amp, 900 cold cranking amp battery. All the injectors do not leak. I don't know if you can tell. It's got all new Bosch glow plugs in it. I learned how to get number 6 done in about half an hour. First time took me probably about 2. All the EGR has been deleted. All the unnecessary wiring has been deleted. Actually, it still has the altitude compensation without the switch, so you could get rid of that as well if you want even fewer wires. I don't know if you could hear me before, so I'll go again. This is the eBay Turbo. I could get the specs on it. It's a T3, T4. It's got a pretty big compressor side. It hits full boost, I believe, around 4,000 RPM. I think you're making 10 PSI by 3,000, maybe a little bit sooner, so it's not terrible. I didn't drive it very long with the stock turbo, so I'm not sure how it compares. It's still got the dryer, all the AC stuff hooked up, and I also have a new AC compressor. I never got around to charging it, but apparently the AC is pretty good on these cars when they work because the engine makes so much torque at idle. That's a homemade boost controller, which works perfectly. 20 PSI, no problems. And it's pretty leak-free. I did spend a good amount of time on this car trying to eliminate all the leaks. The valve cover is pretty dry. Until the radiator started to leak, there were no coolant leaks. Recently replaced the clutch cable. This was a fun, unique car, but I'm ready to move on. And I spent a lot of time getting everything pretty dialed in. So, you know, the next owner will definitely be better off for that. Any questions? Any comments? Leave me a comment or send me a message. Thanks.